Hello everyone, welcome back on my channel. Today I'm gonna start something new, something which will help me focus my content um, because yeah, I started creating content a month ago for the 31 days of tarot, and I really enjoyed the experience, and it kind of made me want to do more. It gave me more ideas. So what I'm gonna do for now is I'm gonna go under episode format. So basically, this is episode 1 of a new series, which I will call Everything is Connected. Um, so today I wanted to talk a bit about the depthyear, which is a hashtag on YouTube right now, which was an ID brought by Jessica, the Story Witch. You can check her channel on YouTube, just search for the Story Witch. So she brought this ID of depthyear. She read it from someone and she created now a Facebook group out of it. And so many people resonated with this ID. And sometimes I think some IDs are just in the air, and many people resonate for an ID at the same time, and I think this is the case for the depthyear. So basically the concept of the depthyear is not depth but depth, DEPTH. The idea is to go in depth uh, of with how could I say activities which you have in your life, instead of being superficial. For example, in the case of tarot readings, an example would be that for the year you decide to focus on the decks which you have, on the books which you have, instead of buying and adding to your collection. So you take a deck, a tarot deck, and you study it in depth. You really connect with it, bound with it, and instead of adding more decks to your collection. So this idea now is associated with tarot reading, tarot deck buying, but it can go much more far in a ways that you could decide for this year to slow down your consumption of books and go through your collection of books, get rid of what does not resonate with you anymore, and finish the books you did not finish, start the books which just pile up. So I guess you get the idea by now of this depthyear hashtag. I saw it on YouTube, and yeah, there's this Facebook group, but maybe if you check on Instagram, there are also people who started to use the hashtag. So anyways, I resonated very strong with this idea. Actually, before I heard Jessica talking about it, I started to feel lightly overwhelmed. I think it was by the mid-December 2018. I started to feel overwhelmed by the quantities of tarot deck I was buying, and by binge watching video channel on YouTube. There are so many channels about tarot, so many interesting people, and it's not just about tarot. It's about the rising of consciousness. You can see it with many people sharing their experience on YouTube, and it's really interesting. But I was so excited to discover all these channels, and also to watch so many tarot decks unboxing. I got so excited, and I started to order decks, and I mean, this started last fall already, one deck after the other. And mid December, I started to feel a bit empty. I had all these books and decks accumulating, and I use a deck for a week, 2 weeks, and then the next one and the next one. And you watch YouTube, and there is always a new deck to get, a new book, and then this new channel, which is also good, and this new person, it's so interesting, and this and that. Well, you get the picture. By I think the end of January, I got so sick physically, but I think I got sick because I was completely overwhelmed by watching everyday YouTube channels, one video after the other, and there's so much interesting content, and this over studying tarot and ordering books about the tarot. And I really, really got sick of adding stuff to my wish list on Amazon, of ordering stuff, buying decks, wishing I would have that deck. And yeah, so I got really overwhelmed. So when I heard about this idea of the depth year, and we just moved house last November, so everything was packed and we unpacked everything, and I see how much stuff I have. Even if I try to slow down and buy less and getting rid of stuff, I have so many books which are all interesting, and I think unconsciously I could not put it in words, but what I wanted now is for this year is calm, is not stop feeding this addiction for new stuff, for more information, because there is a limit to what someone can take. so so yeah, we moved house, and now I see how much I have, and all the decks I have, all the books which I did not finish. And so this depth year for me is really coming in time, at a point in time where it's really something which I'm looking forward to. Um, so I made, I checked in with myself. What does this depth here mean to me? And I think what my soul wants for this year is calm. And actually, at the start of this year, I pulled 3 tarot cards. The year started a bit crazy with 2 moon eclipse, and I was on fire, really. I did not have so much energy since a while. And now in February, like I said, I've been ill last week, and then things slowed down, and now I feel like I must find the right rhythm. So at the start of the year, I pulled. So the main energy for this year was my Queen of Swords, and then the main lesson for this year is the Four of Swords, which means rest, meditate, and that's exactly what my soul craves. I want a calm, a steady but joyful year. It's really important for me to feel a connection with Source and the Earth, and just with what I said now, calm, steady, joyful journey, connection with Source and the Earth. This cannot happen if I'm always rushing and overwhelmed and trying to fill my head with more and more studies and consuming more stuff and watching more videos and all that. So I will really have to be careful and choose where I put my attention and energy. This year is really calling me for in-depth study, in-depth work. So I will come back to my 2 cards. So the Queen of Swords, main energy for this year. And this resonates really strong with me. I really want to be there for myself and be in my truth as much as possible. And then the Four of Swords, the main lesson for this year. And my card of the year is the Hierophant. Hierophant, I don't know how to say it in English. I'm sorry. Hierophant, the Pope. Anyways, so which brings me to say that my soul is really calling me to go in depth in my studies, to give myself the luxury of taking my time to study the tarot, to study moon cycles, something which is really important for me this year. And I started the year with studying the energy of the eclipse, which we had, the new moon, the full moon we got, and working with crystals. Also, this was also something completely overwhelming. I have so many crystals, where to start. And after watching Joanne's video, her channel on YouTube is Sacred Space Japan. She just did the Becoming Human Crystal class. And in one video, she explains that it's really important when you start to work with crystal to go on a crystal diet. And so just take one crystal and work with it for a week. Well, actually, I'm working with, I choose to work with a quartz crystal, and which I will show you just a second. So I decided to work with this tiny little crystal for the, I mean, it's a necklace, but you see the crystal, for the whole year. Not the whole year, the whole month of January. And I decided to continue this February to work with it. So I'm just working with one crystal, and it feels total luxury to take my time to just work with this crystal, even if I have like 100 more crystals which I want to study and to learn from. So yeah, it's really important for me to go in depth in my studies and take my time, give myself the time to study. I got this little moon diary which I use for this year, and I was afraid to be overwhelmed, but this one is really, really simple. So for every moon, full moon and new moon, it does not work with the quarters, so it's fine for me. So right now I'm just working with the full moon and the new moon. I'm not really using the diary part, but I just like, it's really light, the explanation about the new moon when it's coming, and you have some prompts also. So I work with this book for now. So my soul is also calling for in-depth exploration of what I love and what brings me joy. Actually, this was also just a second, I will take it in my shelf. One oracle cards which I've picked for this year from the Earth Wisdom Oracle is the Joy card. And in the little booklet which comes with the card, there was the term in the sentence. It was written that you have to learn to nourish your joy. And this is exactly what I crave. I don't have a lot of energy, and it's important for me that the energy I have is used to do things which bring me joy. So I really have to focus on that, otherwise all my energy is spent in activities which are not really fulfilling. So my soul is also calling for that, and then for serenity, time for contemplation. Right now we are in the middle deep winter, and it's important for me at the end of the day to go through my day in my head once that I'm in bed and remember moments in the day where I was really there. You know what I mean? That I took time to just look outside, see the snow on the tree. Did it melt? Did it accumulate? How is the wind? Where is the sun? Was there sunshine today? Was it cloudy? But you know what I mean? Just to simple things which I got so busy in the last years that I completely lost this connection with the earth. And so with this depth here, I really want to deepen this connection and have days which are mindful. So spending my days in being present, being mindful, being there. So being being there for myself, being there for the earth, being present at this point in time. And so by all of this, I realized that I was, by consuming so much Instagram, YouTube, when I got sick last week, after the first thing I did when I got well was to delete the Facebook app on my phone, delete Instagram, which of course I reinstalled 5 days later, you know. But I realized that unconsciously I was in complete FOMO. I don't know if you heard this explanation, this term FOMO, fear of missing out. It's so easy to get caught into that. Am I missing a new deck? Am I missing a new book? The ego always wants more deck, more books, more information. And anyways, this is my experience. Not everyone is like that, but for me, I realized at the end of January, after I got sick for a week, that I was overwhelmed, that I was in FOMO, and that I was rushing myself instead of taking my time. It's so unfair because as human beings, we have so short lives. And I have the feeling in my 40s now, I'm just starting to live slowly. I feel I was rushed the last 40 years. And anyways, I could complain about that, but it won't change anything. The human lifespan is short. So it's quite a challenge to give yourself the luxury of taking your time. With that, I got a bit excited. But so that's what I wanted to tell you guys about the depthyear, my depthyear. So I've put in front of the camera here 3 decks which I really want to work with because they really call me. So the Tarot of the Hidden Realms. So I want to work more with this deck, and stop watching unboxing videos on YouTube and just enjoy the decks I have and connect with them. I really cherish these ones. The Arthurian Tarot deck. Actually, I so love this deck, and there is a whole guidebook which comes with it. I think you have a full year of activities and meditation that goes with the deck to connect with each card. And I so want to do that. But if I choose to do that, I have to give up buying a new deck every month. I just cannot do that. So this year it will really be my focus to connect with these 2 decks. And actually I I just ordered the first edition of the Arthurian Tarot. So I'm really looking forward to see the cards. The colors are much more vivid, so I will get it this week. I won't do an unboxing, but maybe I'll show it to you. And my Steampunk Tarot also, which I want to continue working with. So I'm in the middle of the Tarot Readers Academy class. So I will continue that also at my own rhythm, trying not to rush, not to exhaust myself. And yeah, that's gonna be that for now for this depthyear. So if you want more information about the depthyear, just search for the hashtag depthyear on YouTube. Maybe research on Instagram, maybe there's something. And if you search for Jessica the Story Witch on her channel, in her last videos, she posted the link to the Facebook group. There are about 500 people. I'm in the group, but I will really put a break this year on Facebook and Instagram, and because this overload of information is just making me miss a big part of my life, and many people feel like that. It's quite a challenge to balance it all out. Anyways, so I'm gonna leave you there, and I'll be back in the next few weeks with to keep you posted about how all of this is going on. So I'm looking forward to hear from you. Leave me your comments below. I will read everything and get back to you. I'm interested to know what you're thinking, what are your thoughts, and so I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.